It matched my pace exactly, step for step. For 2 miles, welcome to the Black Archive. Tonight's files come from the woods. It was October 2023. I was 28 years old, solo hiking a backcountry loop in Olympic National Forest, about 10 miles south of Quinault, Washington. I'd taken the week off from my desk job in Seattle. Needed quiet, needed trees, needed to stop thinking for a while. I parked at the trailhead around 8 in the morning, ate a granola bar leaning against the hood, one other car in the lot, a faded green Subaru with Oregon plates. I never see its owner. By mile 4, I'm deep in old growth, Douglas firs so thick they blot out the sky, moss on every surface, the kind of quiet where you start hearing your own pulse in your ears. That's when I hear the footsteps. Not on the trail. Off to my left, maybe 30 yards into the trees. A steady crunch through undergrowth. Same tempo as mine. Same weight. Same rhythm. I stop. It stops. I tell myself, deer. Maybe elk. They shadow hikers sometimes. I think I read that on some forum once. I can't even remember. I keep walking. It keeps walking. Step for step. No delay. Perfectly synchronized. I vary my pace. Slower, it slows. Faster, it speeds up. Like a mirror buried in the trees. My phone has no signal. I'm 9 miles from anyone. This goes on for 2 miles. I watch my GPS app tick the distance. 2 miles of something, maintaining perfect pace through dense brush and down timber. Terrain that would force any animal to stumble, to detour. It never stumbles. At mile 6, I stop, and I turn to face the tree line. Shadows between trunks. Nothing I can identify. Then, a branch snaps. Not 30 yards away anymore. 15. I don't turn a second time. I walk fast, nearly jogging, 6 miles back to the trailhead. Whatever it is, either stops following or gets quieter. I don't know which is worse. The Subaru's gone, but there are prints in the mud. Beside my driver's door, bare feet, human-shaped but too long, the toes dug deep, like something stood there for a long time, waiting. I reported it to the ranger station the next morning. The woman at the desk nods, writes the word elk on the incident form, and tells me to have a nice day. Some nights in my apartment, I hear it, same cadence, right outside the window, step for step, with mine. I live on the 3rd floor. File 2 was submitted from a mountain campsite in West Virginia. Both witnesses still refused to tent camp. It was June 2022. My buddy Marcus and I drove out to Monongahela National Forest in West Virginia for our annual trip. We'd been doing it since junior year at West Virginia University. Different spot every summer. That year, we picked a dispersed site off Forest Road 76, 4 miles from the nearest paved road. No other campers, no facilities, just us. A fire ring and a creek you could hear from the tent. We set up around 4 in the afternoon. 2 sleeping bags, a cooler with beer and turkey sandwiches, our packs at the foot of the tent. We built a fire, ate, talked about nothing important, killed the flames around midnight and zipped in. I'm a light sleeper, always have been. But that night, I go under instantly, and I don't surface once. Neither does Marcus. No wind, no animal sounds, just thick, dreamless, heavy sleep. The kind that doesn't feel right when you think back on it. I wake at 6:15 in the morning. The tent is zipped shut from the inside, but everything has moved. Marcus's boots, left beside his bag the night before, are next to mine. My water bottle stands perfectly upright on top of my pack. I had tossed it loose in the corner. The cooler is open. Nothing taken, but the 4 remaining beers are stacked in a neat square on the lid. We had thrown them in loose. Marcus's phone, which had been in his jacket pocket, is sitting face up in the exact center of the 10th floor. Screen dark. The tent is still zipped. From the inside, Marcus thinks I'm messing with him. Then he sees his boots. He stops smiling. We pack in 15 minutes. Before I stuff the tent in the trunk, I check the rainfly one last time. On the outside, 4 muddy fingerprints pressed in a row on the nylon, directly above where my head had been. We drive to a gas station in Marlinton and sit in the lot for an hour. Marcus says raccoon, maybe a bear. Got curious. I ask him if raccoons stack beer in perfect squares and place phones in the center of a tent. He stares at the windshield and doesn't answer. We still do the trip every June, but we sleep in the car now. Doors locked, windows up. I keep waking at 6:15, even at home, even with the alarm set for 7. Every time I sit up and check the room, look at the floor, look at my shoes, everything's where I left it. So far, the final file came from a trail runner in East Texas. He asked to stay anonymous. It was March 2024. I run trails most Saturdays. Nothing competitive, just long solo runs to stay level. I live in Conroe, Texas, about 20 minutes from Sam Houston National Forest. There's a 12-mile loop I've run maybe 50 times. I take Farm to Market Road 1375 out to the trailhead. Pine canopy so thick, it feels like dusk at noon, even on a clear day. That Saturday, I started at 6:30 in the morning. Parking lot empty. Cold for East Texas, 42 degrees. Fog sitting low between the trunks, like something breathing. By mile 3, I catch movement in my peripheral. Something off to my right, 40 yards into the pines. A shape, upright, moving through the trees at my exact pace. I figure another runner on a parallel path. There are a few unofficial trails cut through the forest. I keep my eyes forward and keep going. By mile 4, I remember there is no parallel trail on that side. Nothing over there but pine and swamp. I've run this route 50 times. I know every turn. The shape is still there. Same distance, same speed. I slow to a walk. It slows to a walk. I stop and kneel down to retie my shoe. An excuse to stare into the tree line without being obvious. I can't make out features, just a tall, dark figure. Upright. Still. Watching me. I start running. It starts running. At mile 5, I test it. I go from a jog to a dead sprint. Everything I have. It sprints. No crashing brush. No snapping branches. Just smooth, silent movement. Matching me. Stride for stride. Through 40 yards of dense forest. No human being moves through pine woods at full speed. Without making noise. Without tripping. I stop. It stops. I run the remaining 7 miles with my eyes locked on the trail. I do not look right, not once. When I reach the lot, a white pickup truck is parked next to my car. No plates. Engine still ticking. Nobody inside. Nobody. Anywhere. I drive home. Sit in the shower with the lights on for 30 minutes. I go back the next Saturday. I don't know why. Stubbornness, maybe. The need to prove. I imagined it. Mile 3. Nothing. Nigh 3. Nothing. Mile 4. A single running shoe, sitting dead center on the trail. My brand. My size. The sole is worn in the exact same pattern as mine. Same heel strike. Same toe push. It isn't mine. I run on a treadmill now, facing a wall. That closes tonight's archive. If the woods have ever watched you back, submit your story. Click the next file on screen now.